Welcome to MCpodcast, aka Men of Culture Podcast. And in this video today, I want to talk about mangas. Mangas that got hold. Mangas that reached the pinnacle of finally getting an anime adaptation. And when they got the anime adaptation, they got shitted on. They got hold. The anime was completely different from source material. And in this video today, we're going to talk about some animes that were completely different from what the manga had originally intended for it to be. The anime is night and day, the tone, the structure, everything. So, I know you're going to mess with this video, so leave a like, comment, subscribe, go ahead, share this with a friend. Let's get into it. The first anime that definitely got hold for sure, I'm confident in saying it, Twin Star Exorcist is probably one of the worst anime adaptations ever. Because of the fact, for one, if you read the manga to Twin Star Exorcist, it is completely different from what the anime portrayed. An anime is at best okay and at worst trash. Like, the manga, it's so much significantly better. The manga in Twin Star Exorcist, it comes across as just a more mature type of, it's just more mature overall, more serious. I feel like the anime was a little more, give a little more childish type of vibe. And on top of that, the way the story develops is obviously different. Like, the events that happen are totally different what happens in the anime. There was a much more consistent development of the main character. It was kind of like slowly but surely you start to like them a little more, especially the relationship. And this one, it was kind of like the main character in the anime. The main characters were just like shoved together in our face. Better like it. So I feel like the pacing in the manga is way better than the anime, which is just shit. And the crazy thing about it, the anime got like 50 episodes. So I don't really understand the reason why they deviated so much from the main story. But however, I believe that Twin Star Exorcist, if they followed the source material, would probably be perceived as a much more better anime than what people already perceive it as. Most people that watch the anime think it's like okay, mid. People who read the manga know it's trash. So yeah, this anime definitely got hold. It could have been a lot better. This is the first one that's on this list of mangas that got hold by their animes. The next anime on this list that definitely got hold as well, you know I gotta put it on there. You already see this one coming. Tokyo Ghoul. The first season of the anime was pretty good. I can agree, everyone liked it a lot. But going forward, it just wasn't hitting as much. And it just wasn't a good adaptation, honestly. Tokyo Ghoul is one of those things that a lot of people really, really liked. A lot of people got into anime because of Tokyo Ghoul. And I think the adaptation should have been done with better justice. Once again, they just wasn't cooking with it. I don't know what went wrong. All you really had to do was just grab the source material and just do the shit right. And they just cannot do it right. They couldn't. And it's very unfortunate to see such a great manga get tarnished with a shitty anime, because that always just messes up the what people think of the story of Tokyo Ghoul in general. And to add on, I think that the pacing kind of destroyed a lot of the characters in the development of the overall story. I think Ken Kaneki is actually a very well written character. Even though I have my own personal grudges about the manga of Tokyo Ghoul, I really can understand from a lot of people's perspectives of why they think this manga was so good. And it was tarnished because partly of the pacing and just all the other shit that just happened during Tokyo Ghoul. And plus they deviated from the source material. Any anime that deviates from the source material, they fucking shit up. It's been proven 99% of the time, and Tokyo Ghoul did it. Anime that got hold and had kind of a shitty adaptation. This one's an OG. Actually, this is a Men of Culture anime. So if you don't understand what that is, then you just gotta figure it out. This anime is Rosie plus Vampire. This is actually one of the first mangas I've ever read. Rosie plus Vampire is a harem anime. You know, it got the meta culture scenes. And the anime, it starts off actually doing the source material pretty well in the first season. But one of the biggest problems with this anime is that it really hones in on only the harem parts of the manga. So, yeah, so it comes off initially as just a straight up harem anime with the 2010s typical main character. But in the manga, the shit is different. Like, obviously, there's the harem part, and there's obviously the meta culture scenes in it, but as you read more and more, it really starts to change into an actual, like, almost a battle shonen, supernatural anime, where shit starts to get dark. The main character, he's a human that goes to a school full of monsters, so he eventually starts to change, and he has to deal with situations where he has to throw hands with monsters. The manga just develops the characters of each and every person in Rosie plus Vampire in a great way. The anime doesn't really do it justice. A lot of the characters in the anime are pretty flat and generic, and they're just there for fan service. Versus in the manga, they're developed. The story is really, really interesting. And versus the anime really just focuses on the basically harem parts. Like, everything is just a harem moment. They really deviated from what happens in the manga. There's definitely a lot of harem scenes and meta culture scenes in Rosie plus Vampire, but after a midway of season 2, that kind of changes, and the anime kind of just kept in that direction and just kept pushing that, whereas in the manga, it changes into a more serious manga, and there was a lot more fighting, more events. That it was more story driven after that. It wasn't harem driven. So this is definitely an anime that got hold. The anime did not do the manga enough justice, and that's the reason why it is on this list. Next trash adaptation, you already know, you see this one should be coming a mile away. Promised Neverland. What they did to Promised Neverland was criminal. Was absolutely criminal. This is a clear indication of what you see in the anime industry today. Like, if your anime is not ongoing, they're gonna end up just doing a shit adaptation, and that's basically what happened with Promised Neverland. I'm not saying the manga Promised Neverland was perfect, but it was really good. And what they did to Promised Neverland was almost like as if it was kind of like almost like a flip off to the author of saying, like, yeah, you don't want to continue the series and make it longer, we're gonna just end it like that. Like, I feel like that was a horrible thing to do. Having 12 episodes, forcing a series to end in 12 episodes in such a way was horrendous. And this is probably, to me, one of the worst adaptations ever, and just a straight up slap in the face to the creator of Promised Neverland. Like, seriously, I feel so bad for him to have, like, a first season that was considered, like, one of the best fear and, like, building up the anticipation and everything. It's a really great first season, right? Highly recommended for beginners to watch, right? And a second season that's just shit. It's almost damn near unwatchable. Like, it's ridiculous to me. That was definitely hold. This is one of the worst anime adaptations from a studio that I have some respect for, but lost a lot from ever since from that, for sure. And my final point that I just want to point out is the reason why Promised Neverland Season 2 was so bad was because they tried to fit 100 chapters about in 12 episodes. That's, you don't really can even do that unless you just cut corners. So what they did is just cut a bunch of corners just to get to the ending of Promised Neverland, which when Season 1 ended, they ended around like chapter 50 maybe. So they did 100 plus chapters and 12 episodes. That's the reason why Promised Neverland was so bad. This is the worst anime adaptation probably outside of another anime that had a sort of a bad adaptation. This one you'll be surprised with. I think this one could have been better, I guess, as adaptation wise. It was a Kami Got Killed. You know, some people are gonna be like, yeah, what the hell? You thought the anime was pretty good. From what I've heard and from reading a little bit of it, yeah, it's a lot different from, well, it's a little bit different from what the manga, the way the manga portrays it, like the anime portrays it, is pretty different. Like, I feel like one of the main things in a Kami Got Killed is that a lot of the characters you start to like kind of die so fast that you never really get the chance to really like bond and connect with them. So like you feel sort of sad, but it's not that sad. I think the manga does a lot better job. For one, portraying the deaths a lot better. Like, you feel more for them, and I'm pretty sure that the events that happen are a little bit different from between the anime and manga. So, kind of okay. It's not, a Kami Got Killed isn't the worst, but you know, it could have been done better. A lot of the manga readers are definitely upset about it, which is understandable. And yeah, the anime is definitely really good, actually pretty good, and it is a very recommendable anime to like beginners or just people who are trying to find a new series to watch. But as a you know, if you're a manga reader, you're definitely gonna say like, yeah, Kami Got Killed could have been done better. And it's not trash. It's not trash from anime to manga, but like I said, it could have been done better in the way the characters are developed, and like, I guess the process of like kind of slowing down the pacing of the story. I think that was the biggest problem with really the anime. Other than that, I thought it was pretty good. So yeah, this one's not really trash, it just could be better. Next manga on this list that was pretty good but had a trash anime is Seven Deadly Sins. I'm not a big fan of Seven Deadly Sins, to be honest, of the manga or anime, but the anime was looking pretty good the first 2 seasons. That was because it was done by A1 Studios. It was looking great, and then all of a sudden they had to change studios, and that shit was garbage. Like, some of the worst animations I've seen. They destroyed one of the most iconic moments, a real hyped up moment that a lot of Seven Deadly Sins fans was really looking forward to, was the Escanor versus Meliodas fight, and that was obviously Garbado. So yeah, these Seven Deadly Sins fans, they really hurting right now. They had a overall bad anime, and it's not looking good. This was actually a pretty good manga. I mean, a lot of people had their own complaints about the manga, but overall, I think Seven Deadly Sins is a solid series, and it's pretty sad seeing how it got treated when the first 2 seasons was really good, and how it was like having a lot of popularity. Like, a lot of my friends and shit like that started watching anime because of Seven Deadly Sins, and it's disappointing to see like a great start having a horrible finish. The final anime manga that got hold by the anime is definitely, come on, everyone knows this one, Berserk. Berserk is popular in spite of its animes. Like, I know that Berserk had the first Berserk, the original one that came out, which was 2D animated, and people fuck with it heavy. All the other ones are 3D animated, and them shits are garbage. Like, them shits are ass trash. Like, I don't know why people the studios just keep fucking Berserk up and putting it 3D, thinking that shit's gonna be, like, go do anything for it, but it just fucks it up every time. Like, this series is popular in spite of its anime, and that's something that most, like, mangas have a very trash anime repeatedly. That shit would fuck their sales up big time, or do something. We'll have bad rep for it. You know what I mean? But this Berserk is popular in spite of its animes. So it's testament of how great and popular Berserk is. I know people that barely don't even watch anime or read mangas don't know about Berserk. I don't have Berserk tattoos. So yeah, I'm just saying, if Berserk actually got a proper anime by a decent studio, then this will blow up. Like, this is one of the best all-time great mangas, and it's a shame that it just has a shitty anime adaptation. So Berserk should be done better. That's the end of the video. If you enjoy this type of video, you like this type of content that we're doing, and make sure you go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe. You should definitely like the video if you made it to this point. Subscribe, because you'll be a G for that. And leave down in the comment section below what manga you thought was really good that got hold by a bad anime adaptation. And yeah, just tell me your thoughts on this list. You thought it was good, you thought it was bad. I want to hear your opinions. I know this list is correct and right and perfect, but if you think I'm wrong, please let me know. Other than that, stay men of cultured, women of cultured. MCpodcast signing out.